Hi everyone, Joker Plays here, and today's video is another one. You can see I'm actually on my runway that I use for testing purposes, and I'm here because I've seen a lot of amazing builds out there using the new Doctor Doom pieces, and well, quite frankly, I wanted to give a hand at my own build using the Doctor Doom build set. And so here it is. I'll get an aerial shot of it. You can see that I'm using the Doctor Doom chairs for the tail fins. I'm actually using the chest for my nose cone, the tank pieces for my wings. I'm using the anvils for guns. I'm using the tables for decorations, as well as lifting the height on the seat. And of course, this giant monstrosity, the HUD piece, is what I'm using for controls, just for decorations. So the whole piece was pretty easy to assemble, and this thing flies absolutely great. To do such, I'm going to give a quick demonstration. I will go ahead, have a seat, and take off from my runway. As you can see, it takes off nice and smooth. It moves pretty well, goes nice and straight. The winds did not affect it. Turning is easy. You can turn in both different directions, both right and left. Go straight. This is a terminal height build, which means that is using the balloons for lift. There are no lift thrusters, but however, you can add those if you want as part of your build. I decided not to. I like the stationary build, plus it doesn't wiggle, move forward as it flies. Pretty simple, pretty easy. This is kind of an intermediate level build as a whole. We'll go through that in the tutorial. And for max height, if you just let it go, the other two balloons will let it land nice and soft on the ground to where you can continue driving. It does break pieces as it drives. Your vehicle is safe. So this can be built in both survival world. That's why it has the small engine power center there in the back. And then if you want to take off, easy enough, just deploy your balloons on channel 4 and you are good to go. So without further ado, let's get into the build process of this particular aircraft. Alright, so to begin, we are going to use vehicle base number 10. We're going to put that in place, and then we are going to swap to vehicle base number 6, and that is going to start creating our wing area. So we're going to come here, and it's going to be in line where you see the end of the caution tape there. So I'm going to get this pushed down, added. Okay, so you see right there in that corner, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then for the back, we're going to go ahead and add 2 more of these. So this will be the back section. So 1 and 2. And so that's going to create the basic foundation. And now all right, once your basic foundation is in place, we are going to begin adding the pieces that will eventually create the engine look for us. Now this one we're going to want to kind of center. Going to center it between all 4 studs, and then we're going to want this kind of in the middle because we are going to be putting another piece there on the bottom of it. So now it should look very similar to this, and then we are going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure we got this roughly there in the middle. And then put one on the bottom, and that is all set. That is the basic structure of our entire aircraft, including the centerpieces there. So now for the fun. Okay, once our basic structure is in place, the next thing is to put a thruster so we can begin our sideways build. This will be the intermediate build portion that begins. We're going to be doing this for a few of our different pieces, so bear with me while I work through this. To do this, I'm going to put a thruster in place first. Get that out of the way. So you'll see I am using the vehicle base number 3 to put another block on top. This puts the thruster in place to align it exactly where we need to for the bottom piece to lay nice and flush. So we tilt this till, move it just until it turns green. There we go. And now the entire bottom is flush, as you can tell. So now we can fly up and go ahead and destroy this vehicle base number 3 and thruster. So this will leave a little edge there. That is great. This is where we are going to use another one of the new pieces. So this will be the Doom console. This is what we're using as kind of a heads-up display. So you can put that in place. That is a normal build, nothing special there. And then now we're going to take and put down some tables. So the Doom coffee table, we are going to want to center it up long ways and drop it down. And then we will do the same thing, centering it up on the outrigging wings right there. So let me move this. So it is offset just a hair. Okay, so that will set up this. Everything looks good there. From here, I'm going to go ahead and drop my medium driver's seat there. I'm just centering it up. Let's see, move it up just a hair. All right, now we're good. So that should be how it looks. We can sit down, feels comfortable, got a nice little heads-up display for flying. All is good there. Now, to move to the back, since we are here, we're going to go ahead and drop our small power center. The reason for the small power center is to allow us 4 studs of room back here. This is where we're going to drop the new Doom throne. Okay, so it looks like we can center here, but there is some kind of stud in the middle that doesn't allow us to center, so we will put a gap there. There, so it looks like a 2-stud gap. It is that little black piece there on the throne that doesn't allow you to butt the two together. That's okay. They still look great for, you know, wings as they stick out that way. So all is good there. So now we've got the basic structure of the center of their aircraft. Now we're going to move to the side, and that is where we're going to do some more sideways building, but this time we are going to use a foundation piece. This is what's going to set the appropriate height. So I'm going to put both of those in place, although they do have to be stacked, lined on top of each other. So let me get that corrected. That is good to go. Come on down, and then now I'm going to place another thruster right about here on both of them. And then we're going to have to do one side at a time, because you can see this sticks out here, and then you'll quickly find out why. And then so here is where we're gonna put on one of the new pieces, and that is in the plan section. Here we go. Here we go. So this is the Doom tank. So we're going to go ahead and line this, tilt this once again. You see the computer terminal there on the bottom. We're going to want to flip this to the top and align it until we stick down just a hair. So you see these nubs should stick down a little bit, but the rest of it should remain flush with the blocks that we put down. So this side is good to go. We're going to do the same thing on this side. And just those little blocks stick down, so we are good to go. All right, now we're going to fly. We're going to break this up. Do the same thing on the other side. And then now what we're going to want to do is roughly the same thing, but instead of placing the foundation block directly in the middle, we're going to want to offset it 2 blocks over. Do the same thing. Apply the thruster. Same place, middle of the next block. Go ahead and come on down. And then this is what it should look like now. This will enable you to place the Doom tank on the other side. We're going to flip that over, slide it on over, go down with it, and you see everything is nice and flush with the exception of those nubs sticking down. And that's what it should look like. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. And we are good to go. Now when I come back, it'll be daytime. And just like that, I am back where we left off. We've got our two tanks mounted in both directions. That gives us our sideways looks. We're going to head up and we are going to do the same thing and break these foundation blocks. So this is now done. While we are on this side, this is where we are going to place our first balloon. That is going to be an activated large balloon. So we're going to put one right there in the middle on that side and one in the middle on this side. And so you can see you've got the two computer terminals sitting at the top on both of the Doom tanks. It kind of gives it the modern day hyper thruster look, so to speak. So that is good to go. So now we've got the entire basic structure of the plane built, and now it's time to get some wheels and thrusters in place that will actually do the turning. And so to do that, I will start with the small thrusters. I load them right here, right as the taper goes in on both sides, and opposite sides as well. So right here, all is good, and that's going to cover all the turning thrusters. So now to turn, we are going to go ahead and get our wrench once again, put that in place. And so if the front of the airplane is this way, this is the thruster that we want to help turn left, or turn right, right? Yes. Okay, so we're going to click this. Turning right for me is always going to be channel 2, which means I'm going to go to the opposite thruster, put this at channel 2, and then these other channels which will turn left for me is going to be channel 1, and then the opposite, this will be channel 1 as well. So now my turning thrusters are in place. The next thing to do is I'm going to want some thrusters to go forward, and to do that I'm going to use a fence building piece first. So let me clear my filters and go to my fence building pieces, and it is the Mos Eisley fence piece number 1. And what I'm doing is I'm putting this right here, and this is going to allow me to place a big thruster in place where I need it. So I'm just putting that one there. Same thing on the other side. Then I will switch to getting my large thruster, and I can go ahead and attach it right there. And then the default channel for the large thruster is channel number 3. That will stay the same, so no changes needed there. And so we are good to go. So now we have thrusters to move forward. We got thrusters to turn. Everything is programmed on the channel. So the only thing left to do is to go ahead and make it to where we can steer this thing. And that's where I'm going to go back to that piece that I just used, which is the Mos Eisley fence piece number 1. I'm going to start with putting one on this side, and then put one over here, but this one has to rotate 180 degrees. That allows the wheels to attach. These will be the rear wheels. And so for this, if you want, you could use medium tires. Those will turn a little bit better if you want. But I'm going to use the small tires for my particular build. And so let me get to the small tires. There we go. And I'm just putting them down there on that brown section. All right, small tires are in place in the rear. This one will have to flip. And then we are going to do the same thing for the front tires. And we're going to go back to getting the same fence piece. And we're going to repeat the process directly here up front. Rotated the wrong piece. Okay, so the one on the left, if you're staring at it, the one on the left needs to be rotated once clockwise, And then when you move it to this side, you're going to rotate it 180 degrees. And that's when you know they are dialed correctly for you to put your turnable wheels next. That one is in place. That one is in place. And then for this one, we will have to change the direction on this wheel. And for the most part, your plane is now officially done. You do not have to have the small balloons on the sides. If you want to, you can. That allows a nice, smooth, and soft descent. So to do that, you're going to want to place those. If you come over here and you look, you're going to want to place those right there near the steering wheel. And so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. The soft descent ended up being a pretty good upgrade when I was playing with it. So I'm going to do the same thing again. And so I'm going to go here, place one balloon there, and one balloon there. I am using the studs on the tables just for the alignment purposes. So this vehicle is completely good to go. So I'm going to drop it off the jack at this point. And we all know that it's not going to work well, so I'm going to end up restarting. See, the wheels go funny. That's okay. Let's go ahead and restart. One quick thing. I forgot to add the anvils. But that's an easy fix. Where do they go? They go right here where you see those 4 squares. So let's go ahead and filter again to just the decor bundle. Get to the anvils. There they are under end tables. And we got the one put on. We will put the other. Good to go. The anvils are used to simulate, you know, kind of like a laser effect, right? Kind of neat. So, you know, don't forget to add those, like I did in the tutorial. So I added this video in there so you knew. All right, and just like that, after a cool restart, our vehicle aircraft is now good to go. It is put together. It is looking good. We've got that storage up front, which is definitely a bonus. We've got these storage tanks that look like modern day wings. This definitely has a futuristic view to it, so I wanted to build something that was more futuristic looking and ready to fly. So we're going to do a function check. Let's drive forward. Yep. Let's drive back. Good to go. Let's check the wheels for turning. It turns left, turns right, turns right, turns left. Good to go. And forward thrusters. Yep. And turning thrusters. Yep. Go to the left as we turn to the left, right as we turn to the right. And our balloons don't appear on the wings, but I think they're there. Let's find out. They are there. And we deflate it and they magically appear. And all is good. So we have a fully functional plane. Let's go ahead and fly it. And just like that, it takes off great. No problem. That is a vertical takeoff. We will fly around. We will see my aerial platform. I use that for other testing purposes. And this plane is good to go. I hope you enjoy this build, everyone. And if you decide to build it, leave a like and a comment in the chat. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Hi everybody, real quick here. YouTube seems to think that you're going to like the 2 videos that you see on your screen. So if you get a chance, please like and subscribe this video and click on some additional content I have to offer. So yeah, thanks for watching.